we need to be more aware of who we're getting involved with. One thing we don't do enough of is dating. We find someone that we like, that we think we're compatible with, that we have the same zodiac sign. That's crazy. What's your sign? Right? You're totally single. Good. This is for you tonight. So we'll find someone that we like and we will forge a relationship with them and stay with that person like forever. 2 and 3 years. And then we figure out after 2 or 3 years, I really don't even have anything in common with this person. Greetings from a grown man. I'm very interested in hearing this. Good. But you stay with that person for several reasons. 1, you don't want to be alone, perhaps. 2, you just don't want to go through the trouble of dating, or you just don't want to go through the trouble of meeting people and going out. It's like it's too much, so I'm going to just stay with this person. You're never going to find the right person for you if you don't date. You have to date, and you date with the purpose, and date lots of people. Oh, I know that philosophy is not common. Date lots of people. Yes. I didn't say sleep with lots of people, even though you're not sleeping. You're very wide awake when you're having sex. I didn't say have sex with a lot of people. I said date a lot of people. Go out. Have fun. Ask questions. 13 years? Oh my God. They say, whew, that's a whole lifetime of a child. 13 years and then they just broke up. Okay, so here we go. Here are some questions. There's different categories of questions, but I'm not going to give you questions for all of the categories because we'd be here all night. There's over 200 of these questions. Over 200 of them. But let me go ahead and tell you what the categories are. But we're going to talk about their work tonight. So there's work category. These are questions about work, home, relationship history. Sound familiar? I just did a whole scope on that. Sex. Yeah, so why are we talking about sex if we're not going to have sex? You'll see why when we get to that. Health. Talk about their health, their appearance, their parenthood, their extended families. And see, this goes on as you are continuing to date. You're getting into other things like extended family and parenthood. Talk about their friends, their pets. Later, people tell you don't talk about politics. I can tell you with this recent election, there's some people that broke up. Politics, talk about it. Community, charity, talk about the charity, talk about the military, talk about the law. What? We're going to talk about the law when we're dating? Yes, I have questions on asking them about the law. Have you ever committed a crime? That's one. Have you ever committed a crime? Talk about the media. What is their viewpoint? Oh, I'm not going to give you all of them. I forgot. Religion, culture, their leisure, what they like to do in leisure, holidays and birthdays. Oh, that is a huge, huge one. Let me tell you why, especially when people get further into the relationship and they plan on getting married. If they do marital counseling with us, we're going to talk about those holidays and those birthdays. Let me tell you why. People view the celebrating of holidays and birthdays very differently. See, there's one right there. She says, I plan my own birthdays. What if you get with someone who says, I am such a big planner. I'm a party person. And in my family, I'm the one that always puts together our celebrations. Okay. You're like, oh, wow, I found the right one. I don't have to plan my own birthday anymore. But you really don't know what their birthday planning looks like. See what I'm saying? So that is something that you talk about. Which holidays do they celebrate? Which ones do they go way out on? Which ones do they not want to do anything with? They might not be a Valentine's person. See, I'm already giving you number 286. They might not be a Valentine's person, but yet you may not be a Valentine's person, but yet in their household, Everyone in the house exchanged Valentines. The sisters, the brothers, the mom, the dad, they all exchanged a Valentine with one another. And you're like, that's strange. That's weird. So he wakes up on Valentine's Day and you don't have a card for him because you believe that Valentine's is just for the woman. Hello, how you doing? So that's something to talk about, the holidays and birthdays. How are they going to be celebrated? You're going to talk about those travel and vacations. You're going to talk about education, especially if you decide to have children with this person. Where they're going to be educated. What level of education do they have? What level do you expect them to have? You're going to talk about transportation, communication, mealtime. Like, I have all these different categories, and I can go on and on and on. And each one of these categories have different questions under them. There is a total of, I think I saw 286 questions I have. 276. 276. This isn't going to take long because I'm not giving you all 276. Not me. Not tonight. And if you don't want to, catch the replay. Deuces. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about just questions as far as it relates to work. Because when you first get into a relationship, when you first start dating, not long, when you first start dating, this is an easy, safe way to start asking questions. You don't want to jump in with, why did your last relationship break up? Like, I know you really want to know that. You want to know if he was a stalker, if she was a stalker. Do they have any, did they have any charges put on them? Like, that's why they broke up. Oh, we broke up because he was married. You really do want to know, but you're not diving that deep so fast. Okay. And women, learn how to not tell everything at once. You got to leave some things. Everyone doesn't need to know everything at one time. Eventually, when you decide, I've asked all these questions, we've been together a while. In fact, we want to take it to the next level, which the next level, thank you, Holy Spirit. Somebody said the next level is sex. No, we want to take it to the next level, which means I want to exclusively see you and you want to exclusively see me because we think we might want to take it to the next level, which the last level is marriage. Yes, we're discovering. That's what it's for, discovering. So here's your first set of 10 questions, all right? So you're just dating. You're just in a new relationship. Here's some easy questions to ask because you need to be asking questions. Close your legs, open your mouth, and ask some questions. Quit thinking that sex is going to make you compatible because it's not. It's not. After they get what they want, or you get what you want, because ladies are doing it too. After you get what you want, you're like, I'm done. But if you really like a person, you really want to get to know them, here's some questions. Question number 1. Are you working in your chosen field? Why is that an important question? And how will that let you know anything about them? You're probably like, I don't know. Yes. Are they content in their job? Are they going to be looking for another job in the next 3 months? See, these questions are on purpose. Are you working in your chosen field? Are they content where they are? Okay, so question number 2. See, this is not going to be long. Go ahead and share this out, y'all. Go ahead and share this out because I don't want to have to repeat all of these because I'm not going to do them all over again. But most people aren't working in their chosen field, right? Which brings up what? A conversation. Your purpose is to converse with the person that you think you want to spend more time with. Getting to know them, because since most people aren't working in their chosen field, you can talk about that. So what happened? That leads to another question. What did you go to school for? What happened that you went to school to be a physical therapist, but you're working at the vet? So, see, brings up conversation. Number 2, how many hours a week do you work? That's a good question. Because see, when you get into a relationship and you're like, he doesn't have time for me. Well, you never asked how much time he spent at work. Now he's frustrated at you because you're expecting him to get off at a certain time when he works 80 hours a week. Can anyone work 80 hours a week? They probably can. Let's say 60. He works 60 hours a week. But see, when you met him, he was on vacation. So he was around town doing this, doing that. He had a little bit more time for you, but now he's back at work and he's working 60 hours a week. You already know if you're a jealous type person, male or female, if you're an insecure type person, you can't deal with somebody who works 60 hours a week. That's just not enough time for you. So why would you try to force that relationship? Why would you try to sit back and say, well, I'm just going to see how far it can go? No, you're going to frustrate yourself. If you are a quality time person, this is it, knowing your love language. Everything I teach works together. So you have to follow me to even know what I'm talking about right now. If your love language is quality time, then you probably wouldn't want to be with someone who works 60 to 70 hours a week because your quality time is going to be cut. You'll be frustrated. They will be frustrated because obviously they like to work a lot or they have to work a lot. Which is it? Do they just enjoy their job? Does their job require them to work 60 plus hours a week? Or do they need the money? Which is a whole nother conversation that you'll find out later though. You'll find out later about why they work 60 hours a week. Okay, number three. So what does your job entail? Do you have to travel? Do you do business at home? Do you have clients? Tell me about your job. Do you see how much you can find out about a person and their work? So we've only asked 3 questions. Those 3 questions that's a good 15-minute conversation. Good 15-minute conversation. You're on a date, you're out to dinner, you want something to talk about. You ask the questions. He who asks questions is in control. You ask the questions and then you just listen and you let them talk. Ladies, we talk too much. We want to tell everything at once. Number four. What is your dream job? What is your dream job? So here you find out about a person's passion. So that question, you know how you say, if you could do anything you wanted to do, any job that you wanted to do, what would you do? A lot of times it does not line up with what we're already doing because you went to school for this and now you're working in that capacity. But if you really could do it, what would your dream job be? Their dream job might be to be a stand-up comedian. But in their heart and in their mind, they know, I really can't do that because it wouldn't make enough money to put food on the table. But if that's your dream job, that's just something you want to know. You want to know that. Because sometimes people, they'll walk off a job and just go do their dream job. And they're married with children and tuitions. And all of a sudden, they just can't take it anymore. So what is your dream job? You need to know this. If this is something that you could deal with. Well, my dream job is to, you know what I've always dreamt of? I've always dreamt of being an oversized, plus-size stripper. Really? Really, veterinarian lady? You've always dreamt of being a plus-size stripper? Males, if you can deal with that, you can make her dream come true, go for it. But some men wouldn't like that. Number 5. Said, nah, I'll get to the gym. Number 5. Have you ever been called a workaholic? Would any of your family or friends consider you a workaholic? They might be like, yeah, they say I work too much. Okay. You know, you got something on your hands. Workaholics are for real. They exist for real. Like some of us who, like, when the clock strikes, we're out of there. Not them. Not them at all. They are working and working and working and working, and they bring work home. They bring work on the vacation. They bring work to the children's baptism. They bring work to the children's games. They bring work to the children's dance recitals. They're always working. So that's a question you would need to ask. Are you a workaholic? Are you considered a workaholic? Do your friends think you're a workaholic? Question number 6. Ready for 6? Question 6. You ready for 6? What do you plan to do when you stop working? So the question I really just asked you is, what's your retirement plan? See, y'all don't think about that when you're dating somebody. You don't think about that, but you need to think about that. Work some more? Oh, Lord, help me. No, we're not working some more when we finish working. What do you plan to do when you stop working? What is your retirement plan? If they say, I don't know, then you know. See, all of these questions is for you to gain data while you are dating. Is this someone I can deal with? Is this someone that I can't deal with? Where are their deficiencies? Where are some places that I can help? See, when I teach wives in waiting, one thing that they're preparing themselves for is the husband that they're going to have. So in some of these questions, if you know that man said, I don't have a retirement plan, well, you already know that's an area that either you can deal with or not deal with. And if that's true for him, like he doesn't have a retirement plan, he might not have a retirement plan because he hasn't been educated in what a retirement plan looks like and how to build a retirement plan, especially if you're young. If you're in your 20s, you're not thinking about that. But in my 20s, I was. Right. A guy might be 24 and not really thinking about that. But even in your young age, I'm teaching you now. These are questions you should be asking, and also these are questions you should be thinking about. Because you are going to have to stop working one day. You might be 85, I don't know. When do you plan on stop working? If that's a plan at all. Or are you building a sustainable business that will always have residual income? That you're working that. But I mean physically working, like most people work jobs, right? They're in someone's building. They're on someone's payroll. So when you didn't even have jobs when you met your wife. So when you plan to stop working, what is your retirement plan? That's number 6. Number 7. Put up a 7 if you're still with me. Number 7, because I'm almost finished. This is the first 10 questions. Number 7. Have you ever been fired? And definitely you want to know what that was about. Have you ever been fired? Who hasn't? Me? I've never been fired. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I have. I wasn't fired. I was let go. Is there a difference in that, fired and let go? Okay, see, here's what happened. See, what had happened was my grant ran out and there was no more money for the program. So they were like, we don't have any more money for the program. The 3 years is up. Gotta let you go. Is that being fired? So in that case, I've been let go. That's fired? Oh, well, dang, I've been fired. Okay, see, that's a good conversation. So were you fired? Were you let go? Did your grant run out? Was it performance based? You weren't performing, or did you tell the folks to kiss your tail and you walked off the job? What happened? Okay, so that opens up a conversation. No, let me tell you, I was the second director in this program. The program is not even existent anymore. The program is non-existent. It's gone. And I was the second person in the program. So they had gotten like $5 million the first year. And then someone ran it for 3 years. And then I came along and I ran it for 2 years. And then the money was gone and the program was gone. And I ain't have a job with that particular company. Yes, we were doing brain research. Early childhood brain research. Yep. Don't you shut up. He said, Doc, you got fired. Yes, it was a nonprofit organization. Yep. And you know what? If the grants aren't there, if the people don't give, if the donations aren't big enough, you don't have a program in a nonprofit. Yep, funding. It was over. It was over. But you know that going in. You know that going in. When I got hired, I knew what the grant was. I knew what the job was. I knew what the research was. And I knew it was for a limited time. Because if the money doesn't continue to roll in, then you don't have a job. And I was there specifically for the early child development in the brain research. I mean, they still have other programs, but they don't have that program. And we got all the data we needed. Okay, anyway, good question. Have you ever been fired? See, we talked about that for a good minute. That's a good conversation. Number 8. Yeah, and I got cut. And they had to, because they have other payrolls to make, right? Number 8. Have you ever quit a job suddenly? So not have you been fired, but have you ever quit a job? Because this will tell you about a person's integrity. This will tell you about a person's, their mentality. Yeah, you want to know the reason. Have you ever quit a job suddenly? And have you changed jobs a lot? Like, how many jobs have you had? Name your first job. How many jobs have you had? So you want to know what kind of jobs they work. And if they're quitting, what are you quitting about? Man, on my last job, oh girl, she told me I couldn't wear my hat. And I was like, I ain't taking my hat off for nobody. Because see, I had to get my hair braided that weekend. You quit a job because they told you to take your hat off. Okay. And see, now you're with him and he's all freshly cut and he's looking nice. You didn't even know he wore braids before. But with this story, he said, yes, the person kept reminding me that I was a black male. Yeah. So what did they quit for? Well, every other Friday, they knew I wanted to go get my hair done. No, my hair did. They knew I wanted to go get my hair did. And they put me on the schedule every Friday. And I told them I'm only working every other Friday. So by that second month, I quit. You will hear some stories and why people suddenly quit their jobs. And you're like, wow. So immaturity, no patience. They don't want to follow directions. Morons, right? They have a problem with authority. You can find out a whole lot of stuff from these first 10 set of questions just talking about work. Because what is work? What is work? It's a relationship. Oh, they'll find a way. Work is a relationship. It will tell you a lot about how they deal with relationships. Do they even consider being on time? That's integrity. Do they get there on time? Do they take things from their job? Do they stay late? Do they get there early? How they treat their job is an indication and how they'll treat the relationship. It's a piece of it. Number 9. Here we go. Number 9. Do you better ask many questions before you get shackled to someone you don't enjoy? Exactly. Here's number 9, y'all. Do you consider your work a career or just a job? What's the difference? What's the difference between a career and a job? What's the difference? Do people stay longer in careers or do people stay longer on a job? Exactly. Y'all know. So in a career, there's long-term opportunity for growth. In a job, there's not. So are they happy in their career or their job? Do they look at their job as a career, not knowing there's no growth there? So that's a good question. Is that the kind of person you want to be with? Because if you meet this person, let's just say you meet this person and they're at an entry level. They're at the entry level and they're happy there. They never want to be in management. They never want to be a supervisor. They never want to have ownership in the business, if that's possible. They don't want to do that. They're just happy where, you already got it. You got it. Do you know that breaks marriages up? You have a go-getter and a no-getter. One person is like, oh my gosh, I got some ideas. This is what we can do. Here's a vision I have. And the other one is like, why you want to do all that? I'm good where we at. Phrase of the night. I'm good where we at. I'm good where we at. You hear what I said? I have a person that I know, sort of client, that is a very she's well educated, extremely successful. I mean, extremely successful, and was, I'm trying not to, I don't want to tell all the business. Okay, she was up to be a judge. Okay, so she's ridden the ranks up. She's up for judgeship. Her husband is a regular Joe. Nothing wrong with regular Joes. Nothing wrong with regular Joes. But he just did not see the purpose. Like, why you want to be a judge? Why aren't you happy being a lawyer? You're doing good now. Because see, if you're a judge, then you're going to have to be here and do this and do that. Wife became vice president of the company basically I became single. See? Can't hold your partner back, though, if that's what they want. See, that opens up that conversation from, do you consider your work a career or a job? Because they might be working at Terminex, and Terminex, they're going to spray. They're going to, I don't know what people do at Terminex, but they're happy there. But they're married to the vice president of the college or the vice president of a Fortune 500 company. Listen, that relationship can work. That marriage can work. But you cannot be competing with one another, and you can't get jealous of one another. Because if you have a go-getter and a no-getter, it's going to clash. You have to be on the same page. Even if you're not the one, like, I don't want all the degrees. Baby, you go get the degrees. I don't want them because I want to do this. Now, as long as you're not hindering one another and you're not looking down on one another, like the person who gets the degrees is now looking down on the person who wants to spray bugs. He can spray bugs. She can do hair. There's nothing wrong with any of that, but you have to still be compatible. You have to both be go-getters. Like, I'm going to go get with you. I'm going to help you go get. I'm good where I am. I'm happy where I am, but I want you to be happy. So if you need me to pass out flyers because you want to be the next judge, if you need me to be there with you when you travel and make all these speeches, that's what I'm going to do. If I have to take off work to do what you want to do too, then that's what I'll do. But see, a lot of people, they don't do that. They get into a competition, or one feels left out. Well, now she's going to go be a judge and I'm still spraying bugs. She might not need me anymore. So, yeah, she's getting into a whole different group of kind of people, but that takes work. It takes work. So that's mostly what I counsel about. Relationships. Okay, number 10. Here's the last one. And it goes right into what I was saying. Has your work ever been a factor in the breakup of a relationship? So you want to know. Has your 60-hour work days broken up your relationship? Has your go-get-itness broken up a relationship? Has your no-get-itness broken up a relationship? I was with someone and I remember him telling me that the lady he was with didn't feel like he was driven enough. And I was like, oh, I didn't know what that meant at the time. I'm not driven enough. But I can guarantee you, if we had gotten into a long-term relationship and I'm a go-getter. I am. I'm not going to sit around and wait for nothing. I'm going to make some stuff happen, right? I couldn't have a man who just sits around and just don't want to make nothing happen. I couldn't be with a no-getter. I can't be with someone who just like, you know what? I'm cool. Let's just, I'm content. You can be content with what you have, but I'm always trying to work to make things better. Let's work and do some more stuff. Let's go on another trip. Let's help and bless some other people. You know, I always want to do something more. I'm not happy with just, let's just stay where we are. Let's just stay stagnant. I'm not a stagnated person. I just can't. Like, I was about to say something. Okay. That's it. There's my 10. Next time we're going to talk about home. So I can make this into a series. I have all these different categories. There ain't no 11. I'm not doing 11 because 11 goes into home. That was the first category, work. So if you are in a relationship, these are some things you need to talk about before you decide to go to that next level of making it mutual. Like just me, just you. Don't waste your time. You need to get these questions, write them down, memorize them. On your first date, talk about work. On your second date, talk about home. But if you're real savvy with it, mix them up. You're welcome. Okay, I'll give you number 11. This is a sneak peek into the home category, and then I'm out. All right? Yes, I'll leave the replay up. No problem at all. Okay, number 11. We're going into the home. We're going into the home stretch, y'all. This is actually number 1 for home. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? That's it. All right, y'all. I'll see you on another night. I will number these so you'll know. So this was number 1. The next one will be number 2. And I will name it the same thing. Let me see what I named this one. Questions to ask before getting into a relationship. Flash coaching session. I will name it that same thing. And I'll go number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So that you'll know you have them all. And for the last one, I'll say final. So if you ever have to go back and look at these, you can look at them in order if you want to. Yes. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? So we're getting into their traveling, if they're a homebody or not. I would live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's the only place you want to live? See, I like to go. All right. See you guys later. Thanks for coming and come back again. I'm Dr. Melinda Harper, the author of A Prophet to her husband. And you can go to my website, drmelindaharper.com, and get that book if you want to. I'll be back. Bye.